Hello, TDF fans. My name is James Monroe Iglehart, a.k.a. J Soul. You are listening and looking at Freestyle Love Supreme.
What's up? I am Andrew Bancroft, a.k.a. Jelly Donut.
And I'm Shockwave.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And last but not least,
and I'm Aneesa Folds, aka Young Niece.
As James said, we are members of Freestyle Love Supreme and FLS Academy, where we teach some of the things that Freestyle Love Supreme does, which is improv music. We make up hip-hop shows. We're on Broadway about exactly a year ago. And now we are on the TDF Facebook page. Thanks for tuning in.
TDF!
TDF, what's up?
TDF!
We're gonna answer some questions. So
Yes.
I think that we're having an interview with a robot, and the robot
That's
asks,
amazing.
how did each of you become part of the FLS family? Maybe we go chronologically here.
Yeah.
Shockwave.
Maybe
I think
Shockwave.
you were maybe one of the earliest members.
One of the earliest.
Take your time, Shock. Nobody has anything to do.
No, man.
I wasn't like there from the very, 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 very beginning, but like a step after that. I was recommended to go check out this group that was just starting to kind of experiment with things. And I went and saw this group called Freestyle Love Supreme at the People's Improv Theater. And it was at the time, Anthony, Lynn, I believe Arthur, it might've been his first show, and Bill Sherman playing saxophone. I don't even know if Tommy was there. But what I was doing at the time was improvising in the improv circuit and experimenting with beatboxing. And what I was doing really kind of gelled with what they were doing. And I was kind of blown away at their use of freestyle and playing characters and telling stories. And they did a love battle rather than a hip hop battle, a rap battle against each other. It was more so finding the love. And I was like, this jives with me. So I went and started rehearsing with them, and that was 16 years ago.
Wow. He's stuck.
Whole life.
I'm about 14 years in, maybe 15 years in. What happened was I was back in the Bay Area in California. I'm from the West Coast, and I was doing a show in Marin County with my boy Chris Jackson. You guys know him as George Washington, your president. And we were freestyling outside in a parking lot. He was broke, I was broke, and he was, we were bitching about the fact that we needed jobs. We had a job, but it wasn't paying that much. And he was like, this In the Heights thing has to work. And I was like, this Memphis thing has to work. And then he said, we started freestyling it. And he was like, hey, I'm in this group called Freestyle Love Supreme. You should join. And fast forward a couple years later, I got this opportunity to be in this Broadway show called Spelling Bee. We were in Boston, hadn't gotten to Broadway yet. And I went to audition for Freestyle Love Supreme because two of their members, Lin-Manuel Miranda and Chris Jackson, were about to go into In the Heights, like Broadway. And they needed, actually off Broadway, and they needed two guys to step in. And those two guys happened to be Utkarsh Imbakar and myself. And I've been with the group ever since.
Woo! And then Memphis went pretty well.
Memphis went pretty well. In the Heights went pretty well.
Spoiler alert.
Pretty well.
Those were very successful.
Those cries of desperation actually worked.
Yeah, those prayers were heard. I've been in the group maybe 10 years. It's interesting because I flirted with the group and then finally became a full member maybe 7.5 years ago when I moved to New York. A number of us in the group went to Wesleyan University in Connecticut. Go West, go Cardinals. Lynn, Tommy, Bill, Anthony, and I all went there. So I knew Anthony pretty well. He dated a girl on my Frisbee team, which is really TMI. Nobody needs to know this.
There was a Frisbee team.
There's a Frisbee team. Yeah, that's tell me more about your white life. So I ran into Anthony in San Francisco when he moved out there, and we chatted. I was in the battle scene in Oakland a little bit, doing comedy rap stuff. And he was like, you freestyle still? I was like, yeah, you freestyle. And we were like, let's do it sometime. And then, this is the first time we'd seen each other in years. And then we were like, actually, you want to do it right now? And we went up to his living room and just put on some instrumentals and freestyled. And we're like, all right, we need to keep doing this. So we created a group called The Freeze, which J Soul has participated in. And then when I moved to New York, I had already done a couple of shows with FLS, and I kind of jumped into Anthony's position of Mic 1, which for those of you who are fans, that makes sense. To those of you who aren't, it doesn't. But that's me. I've been kind of with the group ever since. And
Yeah.
young niece.
Well, so for me, I used to go see these guys when I was in high school and college. I was a huge fan of the show, and from the first time I saw it, was like, wow, I would absolutely love to be a part of something like this. If the universe could make this possible, that would be amazing. And it sure did. So I found out about the Freestyle Love Supreme Academy and signed up for it on a whim, didn't think anything of it. I just assumed a bunch of people would have applied and that I wouldn't get in, but I did. And then Shockwave was my teacher, and we had a great time, and I fell in love with what the Academy was and is, and it just was a safe space where we got to explore all of these things that I loved in one thing, and it was crazy, and I enjoyed it so much. And then I got asked to audition for Broadway, and then I just skip-dee-dee-diddle-diddly-doo over there and was scared out of my mind, but it's worked out, and it's been the best thing ever.
You had a whole full week of rehearsal to learn
Oh,
how to
you
we had a Broadway audience. Oh my gosh.
Whole week.
And Aneesa is also one of our facilitators with FLS Academy. So she went from student to Broadway performer and facilitator just all in one fell swoop. And we are
Full circle.
we're so lucky the group and Academy are so much stronger with Aneesa.
Shockwave, did you feel any kind of like when she said, I watched you guys in like high school? Did you feel anything with that? No.
Well, I mean, I've got some gray hairs here, and I think every time she says that, a new one is born.
Aneesa's like, I had a sippy cup and you still
I was watching you guys.
electric company.
Watch you guys come out of the stage door and just stand there so nervous.
How dare you?
I learned to read from you on electric company. Oh, geez.
Next question. What were the wildest moments from your FLS Broadway run? Young niece, what do you think?
Yeah. So many. I mean, just so many. I'd say we invite people on stage during every show, and of course we get a lot of characters, a lot of people that might have been drinking, a lot of people that don't follow directions. So we've had a lot of fun meeting all of the humans that walk on our stage. But also, I mean, we surprise each other constantly within the group. So it's always fun to walk into the unknown and not know what's going to happen. But at the end of the day, we always have each other's backs. I've had one time I got on stage and I was rapping about how it's Monday night and it's going to be the best night ever. We're going to have so much fun. Let's go. Did this whole verse. And I turn around and the guys are like, it's actually Tuesday. So that's not right. And then we just made a joke about it throughout the whole entire show. At the stage show, everybody was like, what's up? Happy Monday. And so we have inside jokes within every show, and that's always a bunch of fun.
Love it.
It's very like COVID topic, right? Like what day of the week is it?
Right.
I literally don't know. Okay, it's Thursday. I looked on my
Today is Thursday. I think.
How did you make it here?
Thanks.
Amazing. Jay Soul, any favorite moments from the Broadway stage?
Yeah, I have many. I think there was one time we all played farm animals, and that was fun. Lady had a farm, and we were like a chicken and like an ostrich and a turtle. It was so weird. I think my favorite one though was we do this thing. Where it's a Love Supreme, and we have a couple out in the audience, and we discuss their relationship. And Anthony, our mic one is basically our host, and that's what Jelly steps in that position so well. But there was this couple out there, and this girl began to talk, and we kept waiting for her to say something positive. And the entire time she just kept dissing the man that she was with. And then you find out not only is she dissing the man they're with, they're no longer together. They're not even. They had broken the engagement, and then Anthony looks up and goes,
like
Anthony,
a love ballad.
yeah, it's supposed to be a love ballad. And Anthony looks up and goes, wait, so you're not together? You know what? Forget you guys. Nope, sorry. And he just completely cancels them out, finds another couple. And then we spent most of the rapping about the wonderful couple, but just coming back to them and just like whooping that couple's, but just because like Aneesa said, people don't listen. And it was just one of the most memorable moments because it was like, you heard the rules of this game, right? No? Okay. Well, now we have to get you.
Also James, when he did those cartwheels.
Oh, please. Yeah.
The Olympics.
Oh my God.
Olympics,
so
yes.
That's one nimble genie.
The bad part is in that particular game, we have to rewind. So I had to rewind my cartwheel, which was awesome.
10 out of 10. 10 across the board.
Thanks.
Wow. Memories. I think we have another question coming up. Let's see. Andrew and Chris, you co-founded FLS Academy, and all of you teach there. Can you each share a story about a memorable in-class moment? Shockwave. You have a memorable
that is a good question.
In-class moment?
Yeah. So very early on to this pandemic situation, we started with real life classes, and when we all were confined to being indoors, we kind of adapted fairly quickly. It's really kind of been wonderful. It's been an icing on this cake of poop that we've been living in.
Where you're going.
So it tricks you into eating the poop cake.
No, you kind of know it's a poop cake.
You already know.
Which like at least there's icing on it.
This is definitely the part we tell them to cut out, right?
Yeah.
So the fact that we've been able to be virtual has been really wonderful. And one of those really fantastic moments was the first class that we taught, that we realized that there were international students there, that there were people who were waking up who lived in India and Australia and the UK, like all in one virtual room together. And for them, it was like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And for us, it was like, 5 or 6 in the evening. So that was a really wonderful time when we realized that the scope of what the FLS Academy is able to do now with the virtual classroom expands farther than we ever would have imagined.
Yeah, to have a student in India and she's like, it's 3 a.m. here, but she's loving the class. Students from Peru, Tunisia, Colombia, Australia, like it's really been a blessing to become global. And for me, I'm loving the virtual classes and the in-person classes. We teach both youth and adults. And in one of our, actually this kind of happens every time we have a live class, but I remember an adult class that we did where on the first day, there's usually 1 or 2 people who are almost in tears by the end of the first day, not because we really aim to create a safe, comfortable space, but even just sharing your voice in gibberish, which is something that we do on the first day. We like play a beat and have people over a beat just to get into the idea of improving and finding your relationship to a beat. That can bring people to tears because it's vulnerable and people aren't always asked to share their voice. And I remember one person in particular who I kind of talked to after that first class of like, hey, I could tell this was really challenging. What if you stuck around, they were ready to leave the class, for good. What if you stuck around and we just keep in touch about how it feels to be vulnerable? And the support from her classmates was so warm and encouraging that by the 8th week, we do a class show and she was a standout, like doing the mic one, getting suggestions from the crowd, making dad jokes, with the words. It was kind of amazing. And each time we do this class, that transformation happens in a different way for somebody. And it's amazing to see people who have rapping skills and improv skills show up and just have a blast. But it's even more important for me to see people show up who have never shared their voice in this way, and to gain confidence and gain a community that supports them with the kind of love that we as Freestyle Love Supreme support each other in. It's a tricky thing to do, to improv and make stuff up on the spot in front of people, and to have people, who have your back and are trying to lift you up. That's the key for us. Like that's the kind of golden rule of FLS and FLS Academy. So Yeah, that's the Academy. Let's move on. We have a number of other questions. Tell us about being in the We Are Freestyle Love Supreme documentary. That's on Hulu. Yeah. Who?
So speaking of gray hairs, for me, it was like, what was it like being in it? It was like, well, it's weird because a lot of it is very verite, just kind of filming us. And I was along for the ride from the very beginning. So it's really interesting what happens when there's a camera in the room. And I'm sure anybody who's been involved with anything that's been filmed, but if you take a bunch of knuckleheads that are in Freestyle Love Supreme and put a camera in the room, and it just like ramps them up to 11. So that was always an interesting thing to see, like the difference between being a real human and just having your life being filmed, and then also people who come alive when there's a camera around. So for me, that was like the experience of being filmed, but to watch it was really surreal. It's like watching your old high school video tapes, that you have stacked up on the top of a closet. And you take it down, you put it in, you're like, whoa, I used to wear those clothes.
The hairstyle.
Yeah, we didn't believe in haircuts back then. Skateboarding was just part of my immediate past. So I had big pants and a lot of weird thrift store clothes. So I'm glad that now that's on display for the world to see.
Oh, it's beautiful. Jay Soul, how was that for you?
It was really fun just to watch my friend's story be told. I'm part of Freestyle Love Supreme, but there's the original core group who created this whole thing, and then when they stepped off to do some Broadway things, UTK and I came in. But to watch, I knew the history, but it's always funny because when people see you as a success, and that's not trying to diss anybody, but when people see your success, they just assume that you just sprouted up in success. You just wow, one day there was tickets and we went and saw you and oh my God, you're amazing. But I felt so good that artists who really want to do something got to see where these fellas came from, and that Shock and all those guys, they came up in places that were like nine people in the audience to 100 people in the audience, and we're sometimes we've been on the stage and it's been us, and we've been in colleges and it's been us and the same amount of people on stage, the same amount of people out there watching us, and then to see it come up and then go, people, oh my God, but you're so and so, you're like, yeah, but we started there. It was so much fun to watch. To listen to people's response when they saw it, and they were like, "Oh wow, you guys did have to work." I'm like, "Yeah, the Freestyle Supreme didn't happen overnight. You don't get a documentary after a year. I mean, unless you've cured something. You get a documentary after there's like 15 years. You're like, oh, y'all still around? We should probably talk about your story. How'd y'all get here?" So that's kind of what was really fun about it.
Yeah, James, I hope people take that away when watching something like this, to be like, people are right now doing things that nobody is really showing up for, but it doesn't mean that the success is not embedded within the DNA of that thing that they're already doing.
It's a good point. There, I feel like with the democratization of media and YouTube and Instagram, there's this idea of I should be famous immediately, or like I should get 1 million likes, and why didn't my thing get popular? And it is happening quick for some people, and then others are left feeling like, oh, why am I not famous or in the spotlight? But honestly, I think creatively, you need that struggle to forge that, to be that fire that forges the creativity, to learn the experience, what works, and also to form the bonds with the people you perform with, So it's not only that it's got to take work to get there, but the work itself creates the gold that you're searching for.
Also, some of the things people. Oh, sorry, baby, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I think one of the things is people don't realize that they're creating something, and it takes time to get an act to the place where it needs to be. And, people are going to like you. You're talented. You can tell because people are coming. But it takes a minute for the word to get out. It takes a minute for you also to get to your skill level where you're ready for that type of thing. I remember, every time we would go off stage, there'd be a note like, James, you talk too fast, or don't do this, don't do that. And not in a bad way. I should say we were trying to build something to make it seamless. And people go, oh my gosh, when I saw you guys on Broadway, you guys just like were reading each other's mind. we've been together for 15 years. Like, I know we could, all of us all of us in this group, on this room, if Anthony gives us a look, we're like, oh, damn. We all know, like, there's a look that Chris Jackson gives, or there's a laugh that Lynn gives, and we're like, yep, there it is. This is okay. We know. Or if Jelly starts going, we're like, something funny is about to happen because he's boiling something in his brain, and once it comes out, you're like, you know. But you have to be together and have to be doing it for a while to get it. So for all you guys out there working on something, don't be discouraged. Trust me, just keep working, keep stay in the kitchen, keep cooking, keep working on that recipe, because soon you're about to come up with a meal that everybody's gonna want to eat.
Or a poop cake.
Hey, you got to make
which will still get likes. Which could still get likes. 7 million people.
Oh my God. For me, the documentary, all of the above, what everybody said here, but it also convinced me to get my Freestyle Love Supreme tattoo when we were filming, which most of the group has. We're gonna get Young Niece and Jay Soul on board as well, but there's my Jelly D tattoo that I got during the filming. How about you, Young Niece? Filming of
I'd just like to give an apology for my heater that sounds like a demon and comes on every once in a while to scare the living life out of me. Just that's what's going on. Yeah, just kind of echoing what everybody else said. Watching you guys grow up was just the greatest gift, I have to say, because I wasn't there. You know, I was just a baby or just a thought in my mother's head at the time because I'm so young. But but no, it was really just great. As you were saying, there were 2 people in the audience. You were getting tennis balls thrown at you. And now people are waiting for you at the stage door because they love what this is. They love what it's become. People have come to see the show 36 plus times on Broadway because they enjoy so much what Freestyle Love Supreme is. It's their therapy, and it's just beautiful to watch something grow from nothing into this phenomenon.
Love it. Let's get
wait, I just want to say right there, hey, do not be mad that your heater is on, because some people won't heat. So the fact that you have it, let's just praise the Lord. Let's praise the Lord that with that hiss, that shows there's heat in your house, because it could be off. You could just be on camera just shivering. Let's praise the Lord for the heat being on.
Praise the Lord.
Attitude of gratitude. Exactly. That's the positivity we need to keep going. So okay, we have another 1 or 2 questions. FLS is an impressively diverse collective. What do you think other organizations could learn from you? Jay Soul, what do you think? Or yeah, Shock.
I think they can learn that everybody can be powerful. Every voice needs to be heard. Everybody has a voice and everybody has a perspective. And you know, if your company or your organization only has one perspective, you are kind of living in like this little small microcosm, and nobody can really hear you. We have the perspective of, you know, a white male, a black woman, a white woman. We have a perspective of, when we have our guests come in, Latin males. We have a perspective come in of LGBTQ. We have perspectives that we can rap about. So when someone gives a suggestion, the way I think about it may be completely different from the way Aneesa thinks about it, maybe different from the way Jelly thinks about it. But when we bring it all together, you get these different perspectives, and it just creates something not only hysterical, but also something wonderful, because people in the audience go, oh my God, I was thinking that. So in your organization, try to make sure you have as many different perspectives and different voices, all going for the same goal. Don't get me wrong. You don't want like 50,000 perspectives and everybody's looking for their own perspective. Everybody's going for that one goal. Our goal happens to be entertainment and education. We want to entertain, we want to educate. With our show, we want to entertain, and with the Academy, we want to educate so that folks can entertain to educate. You know what I mean? There's something about laughter that makes it okay for you to live your life. And if we can entertain you and educate you by, you know, giving, Anthony sends out a word that nobody knows what the hell it means, and he's able to educate you with some literally 50-letter word, and not only are you laughing about it, but you've learned a new vocabulary. We've done something. We've taken you away from what's going on. But all of us have the same perspective. I mean, all of us have the same goal, but we're coming at it from different perspectives. So I think that's what our group could help other organizations learn.
Yeah, and there's a real testament to the fact that Freestyle Love Supreme was not intentionally really put together. For many, many years, it was all men. We just never had an opportunity or a chance to roll some female energy in until we kind of hit Broadway, where we could have like an actual casting call and we needed more people to come in. So there was a little bit more intentionality to it. And now as well with the Academy, we intentionally reach out to have more diverse spaces. Our mission statement is to cultivate diverse and creative voices. So it's if your organization or if your group or if your life doesn't have that type of diversity to it, there is always the chance now to evolve and to change, to add some intentionality to it. Because like everything James just said, with voices of diversity come power and new perspectives and different solutions to problems and more education and more entertainment.
Awesome. Aneesa, any other?
Yeah, just kind of echoing James, everybody's voice matters. And I think that it's so loud. I know.
You sound great. You sound great.
I think that what makes our show so special is that we are able to have all of those different voices come to the table with their story. I'll never forget, we were on stage doing Pet Peeves, a game where we get things from the audience that people hate. And somebody said period cramps. And I don't think Anthony heard them. So he was like, what did you say? And I said, I'm going to take it. Period cramps. You wouldn't get it. Because I was on a stage with all guys that night. And the audience went crazy. I mean, like, of course, one of the guys could have picked period cramps, but have they lived it? No. They don't know what it's like. It's not that fun, just so you guys know. But I was able to bring my truth to that story. And after the show, there were so many messages in my like DMs at the stage door. All the women came up to me. They were like, that was amazing. Thank you. Thank you. And it's just so important to bring those voices to the table because we want the audience to see themselves. Like representation matters. And we want to, when I'm on stage, if I see a little Black girl in the audience, like I'm doing the show for you. I want you to be able to see yourself on stage. And I just think that that's so important in so many places and so many different communities and on TV and different in office spaces. It's important to have a diverse community because you need to hear all voices.
1000%. Awesome. We've got another question and then a physical challenge. With in-person performing and teaching in a state of flux, what are your hopes for the future? I think we can all jump into this one. I mean, for us with the Academy, we love teaching in person. We clearly are going to keep doing virtual classes because now they're international and we're getting to talk to youth and adults from around the world. We'll keep that going, but I do miss being in a room with people as well. So we'll keep teaching in person. And then, you know, we were, I don't know if I can announce that we are hoping to do a Freestyle Love Supreme tour. I miss being in the same room with you three knuckleheads and the rest of the group. I'm so looking forward to when that happens again, because there's something about, being in a physical space and reading each other and performing together that I miss it. I'm pumped to do it.
I think the future's bright, to be honest. I mean, you know, when you're in such a dark time, you look for a light, and I think there's a light shining, and it's about to get bigger. And so I just look forward to that day where we can all step together and be on stage, you know, in person. Don't get me wrong. Freestyle Love Supreme is dope on screen. We are dope on TV. We are dope on Hulu. We are dope on StreamYard. We are dope on Zoom. But there is something magical when you step into a theater and see us live on stage. That's a whole different feel. You can watch us freestyle. You can give us words and we will be dope. But when you feel the energy of the FLS family on stage, no matter what combination it is, there is something, it's indescribable. And that's why folks keep coming back. So trust me, we'll be back. And when we're back, we'll be awesome. We may be a little grayer. We may have some new members. We may have an all-girl team. And if we have an all-female team, that team would be just hot fire. Usually probably with old niece as Mike 1.
Yeah, with this in the background.
She just got what I said.
Old niece.
First of all,
Shockwave will be in the nursing home, being like, change it. No,
I say that because I just say that by the time, because Aneesa's like, young 20s. When we get that all female girl, they'll be younger than her, and so she'll be older.
Black don't crack. I'll still be rocking with the little
ones.
That's
true. That's true. She's like Patti LaBelle, just looking like 20. Young niece. Yes, girl. Yes.
I cannot wait to get back to doing things in person. It's just different. It truly is just different. The energy is different. Shockwave is like this in person, and even then some. So I miss that energy. I think everyone is just pretty tired of this world that we're living in at this point, and all I can say is I can't wait. So I miss you guys.
Miss you too, niece.
Miss you too, girl.
Shockwave, any hopes and dreams before we
No.
Good. Good. We don't want to hear them anyway. So finally, I think there's one more. Last question. Can you show off some of your FLS skills? Okay. Here we go. What we do starts with a beat. No, you can't hunt a baby on TDF. So now that we have the beat, we actually have an FLS word bucket app. So I'm going to choose some, oh my gosh, Yoda. I'm going to take some words and give them to Young Niece. I'll give 3 words to Young Niece, 3 words to J Soul. Young Niece, your first word is Yoda.
Yo, what's going on? How you doing, my broda? I see you on his lap, and your name is Baby Yoda. It's over here. Yeah, my name is Aneesa. I hope that you can hear me rapping over my heater.
Bouquet.
Okay, I hope you all have a very nice day. Baby Yoda, we can go out and play. I got a treat for you. I'm gonna eat some yo play. That's yogurt. Gogurt. I guess I'm still flowing. Give me another word so I can stop going.
Your last word is wicked.
Yeah. It's Young Niece. Freestyle Love Supreme. I'm wicked. Maybe like I was green. Maybe call me up a butt if you wanna get next to ya. I'm Galinda. You are Simba. Put the letter on your head, then I go and wreck it. Yeah, Chris Jackson was Simba. Get that? Okay, it's Young Niece. Now I'm gonna stop. Who's next on the mic? I'm making it hot.
Ooh, you made it hot. J Soul, you are up next. Your first word is beetle.
Woo! Let her be, let her be. I'm a beetle and let me be upon this MIC with FLS. Yes, you must guess it is no stress. J Soul, or you can call me JAMES. I be kicking on this mic and there never is a test.
Ooh, confident.
Woo! Now, people say that I'm a little conceited, or maybe I've got a big ego, but actually, no, I'm just confident in the things I do on the show. It's my voice, it's my smile, it's my cool, it's my beard. It's the thing I do because I'm never ever scared. Never ever scared. Well, I'm wearing all my glasses, kicking all the rhythm at the FLS classes at the Academy. What? I gotta be redundant. All you out there learning, you got to be confident.
Ooh, last word, you're gonna hate it, knowing you, frost.
Frost. Ooh, I get lost. I hate to get cold because I hate to go off. Yesterday I looked outside my window when it was 30 degrees and I just yelled, no! Why do I live here in NYC in all this fear? Jesus, if Broadway was not here, this black man would not be here. Bring back the mic so I can say what I like because I don't like the cold and I hate it most at night. But I'ma get it back so I can be warm in my belly. Yo, I need to pass some words to my brother named Jelly.
All right, Jelly. Your first word is judge.
All right. Yeah, I'm in a hurry. I will be prosecutor and a judge and jury. That's right. You knew me. I'm grabbing on the microphone, hammering it like Judy. You go to court. You go to jail. I'm rocking the microphone, kicking the words without fail. Sorry, what was that?
District.
Oh, you got
District.
history? It's a mystery. Or did you say district? Are you from District 12 or 3? I'm not sure. You don't want to miss me on the mic. Yo, my name is Katniss. I volunteer as tribute. You let me go to that.
Leader.
I'm representing District 12. Wow, what leader? Yeah, we need a better leader. I think we got one, and the one who was defeated is not giving up. I don't want to get political, but I'm sick of listening to this whiny little girl.
Last word summary.
Summary? All right, yeah. I think it's fun to me. Let me give the summary. We on the TDF. This is FLS, and no stress. We started answering questions. Thank you. We love connect with the community. What was I going to do? Do a summary of what we're doing? I'm not sure. I'm trying to flow like fluid. I'm trying to be fluid in this language of rap. But sometimes you get caught up and things don't come out like that. That is my summary. I've got my funds with me. I should not be rhyming anymore. I should be stopping. I keep thinking the beat's gonna stop, but it's not. I'm gonna drop the microphone. Yo, shock. On top. Wow. My brain just stopped working completely. Thank you for those.
That was dope.
Nice work, y'all. Thank you, TDF.
Thank you, TDF. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. I missed you guys so much. Hope to see you soon.
Miss you too, y'all.
Yeah. Big love.
TDF, have a great day, y'all.